Hello everyone, today we'll be reviewing the D-Link DCS-5020L. We'll start by taking a look at the setup process, move on to the design and hardware, and then talk about some of its features and give you our final verdict. So, let's get started.
This is the setup wizard for the DCS-5020L. The instructions were pretty straightforward, but what was surprising about the setup was how slow it was. The accessible interface makes it easy to understand what needs to be done to complete the setup, but the time it takes for those tasks to complete was a bit much. It took me about 15 minutes to get it set up and about another 10 minutes to get the port forwarding process done in order to get it working on our Camcloud service. Unfortunately, I can't confirm if the long setup was due to the fact that multiple people were using the same router, or my computer is just slow, or maybe the wizard itself is slow. And yeah, as you can see, it's only a 4-step process, so it's pretty simple to go through. It's just that for some reason it takes a long time to set up. In terms of privacy, the camera is password protected. So let's say someone at work enters the same IP address as the one as your camera, they wouldn't be able to get in without the password, which is great because it gives you that sense of privacy. I like that D-Link gives you the flexibility to access the camera and use it however you want to use it. If you want to use the My D-Link service and not bother configuring your network, then you're good. And if you want to use your own or a third-party service like Camcloud, you can do that too. Now the camera doesn't zoom, although it has a digital zoom that can zoom in up to 4 times. Unfortunately, with a maximum resolution of 640 by 480, the DCS-5020L is limited to Vga Streaming. If you're familiar with Vga, things never look good once you zoom in more than once, as the quality significantly deteriorates beyond that. As you can see right now, it's not zoomed in at all. Let's zoom in by 4 times, and right now it's really pixelated. 3 times, it's not as bad, but it's still pretty pixelated, and 2 times, it's a bit pixelated, but it's doable. You can see pretty clearly. Now this camera has really good night vision capabilities. I'm gonna shut off the lights right now and you'll see what I mean. So right now the room is pitch black and the video quality is still pretty good even though it's a VGA stream. I can see myself pretty clearly. When I move my hands around, you can still see pretty well even though it's dark.
The DCS-5020L can be easily moved around if you ever feel like switching locations. You can get it to sit on your table or mount it on a wall using the plastic bracket included in the box. It has both an antenna and an Ethernet port in the back, which is required during the camera's configuration process. There is a green LED light with the label PWR right on top, indicating when the camera is ready. It's a small but very useful touch that helps the user recognize whether or not their IP camera is working. You'll also notice 10 silver LED lights around the lens. Those are infrared lights that are activated once night vision is turned on. The camera is capable of low-definition VGA streaming while maintaining a maximum frame rate of 30 frames per second. I was pretty surprised that the camera could only stream VGA quality video since the camera was released in 2013, which is not that long ago. Although I'm not planning on testing out its durability, the camera has a cheap feel to it. I found myself trying to be as careful as possible with the camera to avoid any potential malfunction that would force me to send it back to the shop. Again, I haven't tested this out, but this thing isn't made of metal, and if it falls, a major internal component might get damaged. For $120, I expected slightly better quality. The DCS-5020L is another good IP camera by D-Link because of its pan-tilt capabilities, working well with a VGA stream, and great night vision, all at an affordable price point. The lack of a high-definition video quality and the long setup process are my biggest gripes with the device. Overall, it is a solid camera with a lot of features. So if the lack of a high definition doesn't bother you, I would highly recommend these. Otherwise, look elsewhere. And for more D-Link IP camera reviews, head on to camcloud.com.